Okay.
I was like, wait.
Hi, everybody. So it is Monday, November 6th. This is the team call for Team Me the Change. And today we have a guest speaker, the lovely and talented Amy Brown, who has more experience than I do, for sure, with using a like page kind of to run your business. And so the reason that I wanted Amy to bring you on is just because lately, just in the last maybe week or so, Facebook has really been enforcing their policy of not promoting businesses through your personal page. And there have been a couple of coaches who've actually had their personal pages completely shut down. They're unable to log in, and it's been deleted essentially by Facebook. And so because they have, and so there have been coaches who've had it due to a post from years ago, or somebody flagged them. So I feel like it's it's a hard lesson for them, but we can learn from them, and maybe we should all just migrate over. And I know I'm going to be, driving business towards my business page and not posting as much on my personal page. And so really that's why I'd like you to come on and talk. So I really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I'll just hand it over to you. I'll mute myself and go from there.
Okay, yeah, chime in anytime you want. So yeah, Facebook has been cracking down and shutting down some different coaches' pages, especially this past week. Like you mentioned, there's been a few. We have to be really careful about staying within the Facebook terms of compliance. And no one knows exactly why they're targeting certain people, but some of the things that you mentioned, like getting shut down from a post 3 years ago, was as simple as using copyrighted music in the background of a video. Now, they might not care about that or be so harsh about it if it was just regular little old mom, but they see you using copyrighted video, and then you're also flagged for running a business on your page. Now you're shut down. And all of your groups that you've set up, all of your friends, any sort of likes or resources that you've set up in groups, those are gone too. And really, Facebook doesn't really want us running our businesses from our personal pages. That's how a lot of us, and that's how I started off as well, building out our warm market. And warm market just means people that we've known for a long time in our entire life. We start sharing our story on Facebook, and people in our warm market who have known us say, hey, what are you doing? And then we bring them along for our journey. And those are usually the first people that we sign up as coaches or customers. And I think those people that we already know and seeing our journey, like, that's okay. But when we start using our personal page to heavily market as a business, Facebook really doesn't like that. And as we've seen, they're starting to crack down on it. So I recently started, along with some other coaches that Alana knows as well, started using my like page a little bit more and started doing training to learn more about how to do that. The training I'm in is called Social Team Builder, but there's lots of different ways, and you don't have to do the training to switch over to your like page. The first thing I did to switch over to a like page was do a live video on my personal page. And I try to keep it really friendly and upbeat. I can try to find the post actually and maybe post the text that I did. But I posted a live video and just said, like, hey, everybody, you've probably seen me sharing my health and fitness journey. I'm going to be moving all of my, most of my health and fitness posts over to my like page. And if that's something that would add value to your life, come on and join me. If not, like, we can still be friends, and I'll see you here on my personal page with some pictures of my kids and stuff. And then I followed up that live video with a post that had basically the same stuff that I said, but I wrote it out. And then I did like a little thing, like I posed myself with like a thing like that. And then the words said, like, I'm moving, just to try to catch people's attention. And I've got like 900 Facebook friends, and I think about 150 of them followed me over to my like page, and that's okay. Like, the people that didn't come over, they're not my tribe, or maybe they don't want to see that stuff, and that's okay. And for I think a little part of us sometimes wants, we say, oh my gosh, I went from 900 people to only showing to 150 people. But really, like, you don't need to have everyone. You don't need to have every single person on your Facebook page follow you over to your like page if it's not their thing anyway. And the other thing to remember is that even if they don't like you, they still might see some of your posts, especially if mutual friends comment on stuff or like things. The other thing I do, just to every now and then remind people that that's what I'm doing, is if I have a really interesting or engaging post on my public page, I'll go and I'll hit the share button, or I'll tag my personal page in it. So it'll show up on my personal page too. I did that actually this morning. I posted a video of my son and I working out. I posted on my public page, and then I shared it on my I posted on my public page, and then I shared it on my personal page with just like a little blurb to get people's curiosity. I said, I woke up early this morning and someone heard me, you know, and then to carry people and remind them, like, this is where I'm posting my fitness stuff if you want to follow me. So a lot of the behaviors that we follow as Beachbody coaches on the personal page carry through over to the like page. I know when I posted on my like page originally, I thought I had to only post about health and fitness, but really imagine your like page as just a different place to show yourself and show your story. And people that find you, they don't want to see just you posting about like workouts and Shakeology and everything all the time. That's unattainable for people, and they don't relate to that. So on your public page, it's good to treat it almost the same way you did with your personal page. So for me, that means,
real quick.
Yeah.
Are you calling your like page your public page?
Yes. Sorry. Yes. My public. Yes. I can use the whatever term you want, but I guess I use those
just to clarify.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. So my public like page. So for me, initially I was making the mistake of only posting like, here's the Shakeology recipe, and here's me doing a workout and a sweaty selfie. And since going through this training over the past few weeks, I've been trying to do more of posting like snippets of my life. So a picture of my kids, and then a workout thing. I don't really post too much about like Shakeology unless it's like a curiosity post. Maybe it's just me drinking a shake in a picture and then saying something like, oh my gosh, I love this superfood breakfast. It's so it keeps me so full. But you don't necessarily have to name drop, because if you put the word out there too much, people can just go Google that and then they don't need you anymore. So I've been learning a lot as far as getting people curious to want to know more, but not necessarily giving them all of the information right there on the post. Start some conversations. Something that's really important to remember is that when you start posting on your public like page, a lot of times it's going to feel like you're posting to crickets, and there's not going to be a lot of engagement. But just like on your personal page, people are watching and they're building that trust in you, and they want to see if you're sticking with it and if you're consistent, especially people that are coming out of the woodwork that don't know you. So post consistently. It's best to post like 3 to 4 times a day. I know, Alana, you usually set aside some time to schedule your posts, right? Or at least plan them. And I've been trying to do that as well. So I tend to sit down on a Sunday and schedule 3 posts a day on my public like page. I do one in the morning, one around lunchtime, and one at night. I schedule them so I have something there. And it sort of plans out where my week's going to go. Then as my day goes on, I post something real time. And if I notice like, oh, I don't need this scheduled post anymore, then I just like reschedule that post for another time. What's great about your public like page is you can actually literally schedule posts to automatically go up. And you can just basically, if you were out of town, your page would be posting for you when you don't have to do anything. I like to have some real-time stuff in there also, but this is really great to be able to be consistent, because as you're bringing people onto your page, they want to get to know you, and an important way to do that is to be posting consistently. So going along with bringing people over from your friend group to your public like page. Like I said, you don't have to bring everyone, and that can actually be really freeing, because when I switched to my public like page, and Alana and I have talked about this, sometimes you want to post deep posts or things about you're really feeling. You want to get that emotional connection, but if you're worried about what people are thinking, it's going to hold you back. If you're worried about what that girl in high school that you hardly ever talk to anymore, if she's on your public like page and you're thinking, oh my God, what's she going to think if I post this? You might not post like the real deep stuff. But if you know that just the people that have come over are the ones that really want to hear what you're doing, those are the ones that have followed you, then you're going to be more likely to post, what's really going on in your head and in your heart. And the people from the internet that don't know you, you don't really care what they think, and you be yourself. And if that resonates with them, then they stay. And if it doesn't, then they leave. And like, that's okay. Being your true self is going to naturally attract people that think like you, or people that, what's the word I'm thinking for? Like, that resonates with them. And it's going to naturally repel some people too. And it's okay if it naturally repels the people that are not in your tribe. We use the word avatar a lot in the public like page training. Your avatar is basically your target audience, who you're hoping to connect with, and who you're hoping to maybe add to your team. Maybe as a customer, maybe you can help them, or maybe they'll end up being a coach like you. So, for example, my avatar, the people I'm hoping to connect with, are busy moms who maybe they're working, or they're working part-time, but they're so busy and they know they don't have time to go to the gym because they've got young kids at home, but they are sick of not taking care of themselves anymore. And they want to do something to feel a little better about themselves too. And I could go way deeper into lots of other details about my avatar. They feel like they don't have time for themselves anymore to do the things they want to do, and yada, yada, yada. But what you do is you think about really the details of like who that person is, what's going on in their head. You basically invent a pretend person. And every time I write a post, I pretend I am writing it specifically for that person. My avatar's name is Jennifer McDonald. And I know that sounds like silly that I named her, but that's what they recommend. I found a Google image picture so I can picture my person. And every time I write a post, I think, okay, what would Jennifer McDonald want to hear? And I write it for that. And it's going to resonate with those people I'm looking for. And the other people are going to keep scrolling, and that's okay. When people go to any website on the internet, they're looking for three things. They either want to be educated, informed, or entertained. So when you're writing posts, even if nobody is liking or commenting, there are people seeing it. And are you giving them value? Are you educating them? Like, are you teaching them something new that maybe they didn't know? Are you informing them, making them aware of something that's going on? Or are you entertaining them? Having something funny or something that really catches their attention. So just try to remember when you're posting, like, give. Every post that you do should give value to someone. And sometimes that can be as little as saying like, oh, that's a cute kid picture. Like, my kids do that too. I totally love that because I'm a mom. And other times it might be giving some sort of like helpful food or recipe trick or hack, because like I don't like cooking. So I would be interested in finding like quick, healthy ways to do things, like little hacks. So what can give value to people? And don't be expecting that all of your posts have to be like, sign up for my group, sign up for this. In fact, you don't necessarily want to do that. It's more about giving value to people and making them feel like they can trust you and see your journey, so that when they do comment on your stuff, you can start a private conversation and just connect and like build those relationships. And eventually they're going to say, what are you doing? Like, what is this thing you've been talking about? What are you doing? And then you start the conversation. It's about being patient, just like we were on our personal pages. People we message, 7 months ago that said no, are maybe just starting to come back and say, okay, remember that thing you messaged me about? Like, I want to know more about it. It's going to be like that on your public like page where we have to be patient and people are watching. And over time, those people are going to start coming and asking and wanting to know what you're doing. What else did I say? Oh, something that was very helpful that I thought is if you're not sure what to post about, especially if 3 to 4 times a day seems overwhelming, think about what are some of the questions that people ask you in private messages, and think about what are some ways that you can answer those questions publicly. So if someone said to me, like, what's your favorite cardio? Like, I'm let's see, like, oh, I hurt my knee, but I want to do cardio. What can I do? Like, I could maybe find a way to do a post about that. I could say, oh my gosh, I love this new program. I was just talking with a friend of mine who hurt her knee, and this is really fun because it gets their heart rate up and blah, 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 but it's low impact and yada, yada. But don't go into the specifics necessarily. But anyway, if you're thinking about like what to post, just think about like what are some things people ask you privately and how can you answer those publicly. And the same goes for live videos, which Facebook loves live videos, and they're really like scary to do, but Facebook loves them. And if you post live videos on your public like page, Facebook is going to put that in front of a lot of people. And that is like working to your benefit. It also like pops up in people's notifications. So-and-so is going live right now. And it's a way for people to really feel like they can connect with you too. It's sort of like, when you see someone on TV all the time and you get used to seeing them, you feel like you know them and you would feel comfortable around them. Same thing with your public like page. If people see you going live and they see how you act and they see your mannerisms, they're going to feel more quickly like they know you and like they can trust you. So post lots of live videos. If you're not sure what to post about those, it's the same thing. Things that people ask you in private, you can answer those in live videos, or you can just do something silly. Like I did a live video the other day. I was doing I held up my camera and I was doing squats while I was talking, and I was like, squats are great because you can do them anywhere. And like, I was just being silly, and I got a couple people to say, yeah, add me to that group. What is that free group? And so if nothing else, if no one sees it, it's good practice for you to just get comfortable.
One thing real quick about live videos.
Yeah.
So Keith Callahan on his page for a while, and I don't know if he's doing it right now, but for probably several weeks, he was going live 5 days a week on his public like page, and he was doing 30 or 45 minute training videos for not only coaches, but anybody who's in some sort of an MLM or does any sort of internet marketing. And he did a whole series on your boosting your like page and doing live videos. It was it might've been a full 5-day series that he did. So that's a really good resource. I haven't watched it because at the time it didn't really apply to me. I think I watched maybe one of the videos, but I'm definitely going to be going back and looking at those again.
Oh, that's cool. I'll definitely check that out. When you mentioned boosting, so it's actually, I do want to mention that because it's tempting when you go to the public page to Facebook will say, oh, this post is doing really well. Do you want to boost this post? And you can pay to have Facebook put your post in front of more audiences. I did that a couple times. And what I'll say about that, this is what I'm learning in my training a little bit. When you boost a post, Facebook literally just puts it in front of pretty much everyone. Even if you try to narrow your audience a little bit, it's boosted posts are going to such a huge audience that it's unlikely that you're going to get people to like your page from a boosted post. They might like the post, but what I'm learning in the training is that it's less likely to get people to permanently come over and join your page. It can happen, but really there's a lot more research that people can do if they want to find out how to do targeted ads to get people over to their like page. That's like a whole nother topic for another day though. Mainly if you're trying to build your like page, the things to start with are just like what you're doing on your personal page, which is posting consistently a few times a day, sharing your life and your story, and not just the fitness stuff. Be comfortable knowing that people want to see who you are, not just as a fitness guru, but they want to see like, oh my gosh, my kid just spilled spaghetti all over the floor and I need to leave for school right now. And all right, I'm going to go do some personal development on this later. Like they want to see that like you're a real person and your life is crazy. And yeah, you're still fitting in that health and fitness piece too. It just makes you more relatable. So, Alana, do you have any questions for me? Like since I've been talking things that have popped up?
I don't so far. I think you've covered all of the questions that I had actually, which is great. I do really like your like I'm moving post. I think that's a great thing.
I can post the blurb that I used for that. I actually, borrowed it from someone else that was in the training with me, and she was like, "Go ahead and use it," and people responded really well to it because it's like, I think I said something like, if you don't come with me, we'll still be friends. Like it was no big deal. And what's funny is that my mom actually, like, for example, my mom told me, she was like, no, I'm not going to go to your public like page. She was like, I don't want to see all your fitness stuff. I just want to see pictures of my grandkids. And at first I was like, oh, but then I realized that's okay. Like that's totally fine. And I think, so what I've been doing on my personal page lately is sharing. Oh, I just thought of something else. My personal page lately is posting pictures of my kids, and then maybe like once or twice a week, sharing a post from my public like page to my personal page. So it's not like it's every day anymore, but it's just every now and then just share a good one and just remind people that I'm over there. But for the most part, I'm posting most of my stuff on my public page. And the other thing I just thought of is, and this is something I never thought of before, and if you want to see an example, you can look at my public page. It's Amy Brown Coach. But a little tip, a little hack, they said, is to catch people's attention. Your cover photo, if you include somewhere in your cover photo a little button, like an image of a button that says click here, because that's your biggest piece of real estate when someone first comes to your page. So you get them to click on your cover photo, and then your cover photo description should not be a description just about you. Like it shouldn't be a dating profile thing that says like, my name is Amy, I'm a mom of 2 kids, blah, blah, blah. Like people are going to scroll past that. When people click on your page, what can grab their attention is something like, have you ever felt like life is so busy, you never have time to get to the things you want to do? I've been there. So like something to catch their attention, something to hook them in and make them feel like you are speaking directly to them, and them being your avatar. So the people in the training help me write mine, but it does tell a little bit about my story, but adding that like interactive button will sometimes set your page apart from other people's. Like, wait, you click here? You want me to click on here? Okay, I'll do that. And then having them, you're asking them a question within your cover photo makes them feel like, oh, okay, like you've been where I am and look how happy you are now. Okay, how can I do that? Or at least they'll follow you maybe. So, and going with that click here and engagement thing is also, you don't want all your like page posts to all ask the same question. Like, you don't want them all to say like, does anybody else feel this way? And then have every single one be like that, but try to find a call to action in some way for all of your posts. Like drop an emoji below if you know what I mean. Or you could say like, does anyone else struggle with breakfast? Like, what are some of your favorite quick and easy meal ideas? It doesn't have to be about Shakeology, but getting people to interact on your posts so that your future posts will continue to show up in their newsfeed. Just all the same tricks we used with personal pages, but don't forget about them. Don't just constantly post things with words that end in a period you want to make sure you got some question marks in there too, so people know what you're asking them to do.
Quick question, totally just spaced on the words that you just used that I was going to ask about. Terminology for the like page is following the same as liking a public page?
No, that's a good question. So no, it's not. When someone likes your page, they are automatic when they click the like button, it automatically makes them follow your page also. But they can also toggle off one or both of those. So liking your page, when someone likes your page, say I had 3 family members like my page. Facebook might randomly tell my other cousin, hey, Brian, Jimmy, and Sue all like amybrowncoach.com. That is public knowledge that people like your page. Following is what people do secretly. It's not secretly to me, but no, if I go and follow your page, Alana, no one can tell I'm following you. That's just for me. So what I've noticed is that I have about 850 likes on my page, but I have about 870 followers. So I have some people that ended up just choosing to follow my page, but they don't actually like it. And what I've found is that a lot of times other Beachbody coaches will do that. So because I don't necessarily want, like I have a lot of Beachbody coach friends and I want to follow their stuff, but I don't necessarily want all of my friends to see that I'm liking this person and this person and this person and this person. So people can like your page and then they can follow it, and then they can set it so they follow it so that your page is the first thing they see. They can follow it on default, or they can follow it, they only see like your top posts. So they are a little bit different. I always just encourage people to like my page. And in my blurb, I said something in my like thing that said I'm moving. I included something that said like my page, and then hit the follow button and say see first if you want to make sure you don't miss any posts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And actually just kind of something that I heard that's an interesting tidbit about liking other coaches' pages, like their public pages, is you don't actually want to, because you in the future, like when their pages start to get really big, their like page posts will start to show up to your friends.
Yes, that's exactly right. Yes.
And you want to like keep, I mean, in this situation, you know, you want to keep the people that you're working with to your page.
Yeah, exactly. So like, that's exactly right. I think that's why probably I have like about 20 more followers than I have 20 more followers than I have likes. As I was thinking, it's probably like 20 of my Beachbody friend coaches that know that little trick. So they follow me, but they don't want all of my posts being broadcast to their friends and their market. So yeah. So yeah, for all you coaches watching this video, you want to follow Alana's page or my page, just hit the follow button, but not the like button. Yeah. Trying to think if there was anything else. I highly recommend creating an avatar, thinking about who that person is that you're trying to connect with. And then when you write a post, try to think of, every post is, how am I going to connect with this person? Why do they care? Why should I post this? On your personal page, I post different blurbs. I might post the same picture on my personal page, picture of my kids, just with the simple little thing. Because my warm market is pretty warm. They know I'm a Beachbody coach now, and they know they can come to me. And I get a lot of engagement on my personal page. My public page, I might post that same picture, but I make sure I include some sort of call to action. Like, I want to see your pictures of your kids in their Halloween costumes, something like that. People love to share, like post their pictures in their comments or give their opinion on something. So giving them a place where they can do that is like really good for engagement. Let's see. Write down my notes. something I know, Alana, you and I have been challenging each other on, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, but like, you know, we were talking the other day about how, I can speak from me specifically, that you were noticing that some of my posts seemed sort of like surface level, like you were just getting to know the real Amy, or weren't quite getting to know that. And I think that's a really easy habit to fall into. Like I might post like a couple sassy posts, and then all of a sudden, like I just fall into the habit of, you know, this is easy. I'm going to post some easy stuff, and I'm not going to like push the envelope. And so having a success partner like you and I are, has been really great, because you can remind each other to, you know, it's okay to post those easy posts, but make sure you challenge yourself and think about who you're attracted to and who you're trying to attract, and how you can do that. Like go deep, you know, post those real emotions. We were talking about like trying to post more sassy to attract those really fun people that we, you know, we love working with. And so, yeah, like that's always a challenge, and trying to work on that myself too. And if anyone has any questions for me too, feel free to leave questions like in the comments after this video, or send me a message.
Yeah, so what I'll do is, again, like with all of our team call videos, this will be posted. I'll post it in the comments of the post, but then I'll put it in the archive too, so people can ask questions or comments. And, you know, if people have other questions, you know, we post them on the page and tag Amy if you have a question. And that way everybody can see your questions. Okay.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, you know what? I just thought of one other last thing. I did this with another girl on our team. We actually interviewed each other. We had a list of like interview questions, and we did a Zoom call like this, and we interviewed each other about like what brought us into this business, and we kept asking each other why, and then we asked, you know, who's your ideal teammate, things like what keeps you up at night, what kind of people are you attracted to. But then we kept asking each other why. And we ended up chatting and interviewing on Zoom for like 2 hours. Then she downloaded the video, and we sent it to a transcriber on a website called Fiverr. I think it's Fivrr or something. It's like really cheap things. And the person transcribed it for us for like $20. So now I have a Microsoft Word document with like our interview, and it's full of all these awesome little clips of my own words and her own words that I can literally copy and paste some of my own words and put them in a post. And it's me getting real and raw. Like we both cried while we were doing it. And I highly recommend doing that. It sounds silly, and I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for the training, but I literally have like pages and pages worth of posts now for the public, you know, for my public page. It's just a matter of figuring out like when I want to post them and in what context, you know, but it was a really good practice anyway.
That is awesome. That is such a great idea.
Yeah. It was cool. It was with Tiana. She was the coach of the week last week. Yeah. It was cool.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you for coming on. This is, you know, I'll have you back again for sure.
Yay. Okay, good. All right. Any questions people have, let me know.
Great. Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.